Mercy, starring Chris Pratt from Amazon Studios, is one of the worst movies in recent memory. And it's not just because it's boring and a character sits around in a chair the whole time and there's barely any action and the plot is contrived and it's cliched, but the movie is actually, in its messaging, toxic. So after the release of their version of War of the Worlds, this is now the second Amazon action movie where the majority of it is just a guy sitting in a chair talking to his screen. But at least that one had the excuse of being shot and filmed and then put in a can in COVID. This movie was actually a movie that was shot recently and came out in early 2026. Yeah, beyond that, this is a pro AI, pro cop, pro surveillance state movie, and that's what really makes it so bad. Besides the pretty egregious use of Chris Pratt. For those who haven't seen the relentless marketing of this thing, it's Chris Pratt is framed for killing his wife and he has to go on trial, and there's an AI system that will determine if he's guilty or if he's innocent, and he was the one who made it, but now the cop who's made up the system is being put on trial. But here's the thing, the cop who did it he's awful. He's an alcoholic. His family doesn't want to talk to him for good reason. His wife is having an affair because he is such a terrible husband. He's a liar, he's abusive, and I don't want to see him redeemed. It's also one of those sci-fi movies that is set 5 minutes in the future, A, so that it can cut down on costs, but B, and this is a little more nefarious, B is so that it can have product placement in it. It can be like, hey, all the data is getting uploaded to the cloud, and oh, we have some Ring footage here. Don't worry about these things that are always watching you, they're actually a good thing. And we should give the police access to them at all times. Don't worry, they're watching us for our own good. Now, you might think that this system where your judge, jury, and executioner are an AI robot that gives you an hour and a half to prove your own innocence with no lawyer or anything like that is a bad thing. But no, that's not the movie's take. He just happened to have, the system was a little bit twerked by one bad egg. And the reveal of who the secret bad guy is pretty easy to spot because it's the only other big character in the movie besides his partner, so it has to be him. And he is trying, I don't care, I'm going to spoil this movie. He is trying to bring down this horrible evil system because it unjustly murdered his brother, essentially. And if you think, hey, you know what, I kind of agree with this guy who is trying to stop this corrupt, awful cop and stop this thing that was a cover-up of his brother's murder and this awful, fascistic system, maybe I agree with him. Don't worry, they make him kidnap a kid for no reason just so that you won't like him and side with him. The ending of the movie, which admittedly does see Chris Pratt finally get up from his chair, is also awful. It ends with Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson being like, you know what? Maybe us cops and AI can learn from each other, and maybe we can make a better world. We're not going to change anything, but you know what? Maybe we can tweak the system to make it a little bit better. Who needs radical change when you have our great overlords watching over us? So when this movie comes soon enough to Amazon, because remember, of course, this is a tech company that is putting this out, make sure you don't buy it. Make sure you don't rent it. This thing is an absolute piece of shit.